I think it's important for people to be around other positive people. I think it's a huge testament to what you've done. I mean, listen, you went to Columbia, you played baseball there, you're captain there. All that stuff is great and all, but you know what I noticed though? You walk into this office and what do you see? You see pictures of LBI sunsets. You see pictures of Vince Lombardi and quotes, and I'm not seeing a whole wall of all your accolades. I mean, you can fill the wall up with them, but this is you, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I think, how you portray, I think, in the way you go about stuff, I think as far as your mentorship is huge on how, like for example, Vince Lombardi, he was coach of what was the program he was in, Notre Dame?
Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers, and I mean, for what he's done in his career, I mean, I think just exemplifies everything that you've done as well. I think that's awesome.
I appreciate it, Mike. And I've got something though. This is the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I think a lot of, because this affects what I do at some level. It's how do you really have people understand that that's real? It's one thing to say, I'm a great mentor. I could teach you, for me.
Correct.
I could teach you to make more money. I could teach you to do it in less time.
Right.
And, all these things. But it's very intangible. Like it feels, it's not. It feels intangible. So one of the reasons that we're having a conversation like this is so people can get to know you and can get to know me.
Fair enough.
And understand that this is real.
Right.
Like this is who we are.
Right.
And quite frankly, you and I also discussed something else interesting. When you're when you're living life in sort of trying to live your life in an uncommon way and see things from a different perspective and avoid, I don't even want to say be positive as much as I want to say when you're not negative and cynical.
Yes.
Because I think positivity is something that I believe in enormously, but I also think there's an incredible mischaracterization of it, right?
Yes.
Where people think being positive is being fake.
Right.
Like you can't really feel that way. Like when you have a negative thing happen to you, you're not really like, oh, I love dandelions and unicorns.
Right.
And that's not what we're saying.
No.
Not what we're saying at all. But in experiencing some of this conversation, people see it for real. Because at the same time, I've experienced this my entire career. I've been in the law for 20 years. And there's a lot of people who've been jealous, who've been angry, who've tried to, create a counter position to what I believe in. Saying he really doesn't believe in that. And I'm far from saying I'm a perfect human being. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, right? But I believe in these things, right, and we're driving forward.
Yes.
And I think you and I have talked about, you've experienced some of that same thing, where people have been attempted to paint you as somebody who is not real, who is more, selfish and that sort of thing. So is that something you've experienced?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, when I expanded Just Hits to Westwood, it's 11,400 square foot facility. It's huge, and someone came up to me and said, hey, he goes, you stole my idea. I'm like, what do you mean I stole your idea? He's like, well, this was exactly what I wanted to do, and you did it. So, okay, so rewind, hold on a second. So you, who, keep in mind, who never played professional baseball, who I don't think played college baseball, has an idea to then have a professional baseball facility with all professional instructors where you could relocate from all different parts of the country to be a part of the operation, to have that model to make it happen. If you don't have those accolades and you don't have those contacts, it's not a realistic thing. But having the idea and the thought is one thing. But here's a better approach, okay? Walking in and saying, you know what, Mike? I love this idea. I had it myself. I thought about it. This is great. But you know what? You made it that far, you had the chance to do it, and you did it. Awesome. Good for you, man. I'm so proud of you. Any way I can help, please let me know. Wow. Hey, now I'm thinking as a business owner, oh wow, this guy, similar mind. He's dropping a line saying, maybe I could use his help. What is his resume? What is his expertise? Instead of kind of calling me out and having that negative approach and then keeping that inside as if I actually did something to him. That's not the outlook. That's not the approach.
And listen, here's the deal. We talked about it, why not? One of the core key first principles that we're espousing is the concept of living at cause versus at effect.
Right.
Where you're in control of your
Correct.
thoughts, feelings, and actions.
Correct.
Which produce your results and destiny as opposed to other people. So the first thing we're going to say is, unquestionably, if you start producing positive results in a new business that you have as an athlete, a player, and you start to excel, you will have people that will want you not to be excelling because you're going to touch their egos.
Comes with territory,
right?
Absolutely.
And let me share this as a principle for these why not talks. I fundamentally believe that anybody can produce outstanding and amazing results, and the fact that people do is something that I don't envy. I want to emulate. I want to learn.